Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the Tsudo scenario, the Tsudo issue. So, hopefully you guys got a chance to see all the videos, all 6 parts. I really wanted to show you guys how to swap out your exhaust. Swap out your header. And you know, it was a perfect opportunity for me to unbolt the NVIDIA header, or unbolt the header, replace it with another one, do a quick, simple swap. But obviously things didn't go as planned, as you saw, hopefully saw. The issue that I had with the Tsudo was, now that I've done a little bit more research after the problem, was some people have reported that the holes on the flange are not properly drilled. They're not properly spaced out. They're just a little bit off. And I've heard some, one guy said that he drilled them out just a little bit more. And that was something I really didn't want to do, honestly, especially since when I bolted up the header, and to the exhaust, it lifted up the whole assembly and it caused my exhaust to hit underneath the frame of the car. And with just a simple little nudge, the flange on the exhaust was hitting underneath the car as well. So to me, just the whole ordeal, everything, the installation, everything was just a complete shitty ass experience. It really sucked. I hated it. And I'm not the type of guy that'll really express myself all like that about it. But you know what, the whole ordeal just sucked. I really had high hopes based on the build quality that I showed you guys on the header. The high flow cat looked really good. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. This is the material looks great. It feels great. The welds were good. Everything looked really good. And of course, it didn't fit. So what I did is I put on my NVIDIA header back on that very same day. I put the NVIDIA header back on, and I'm running with that now. And a couple days later, after I just try to kind of cool off, resting my body a little bit, whatever, I'm like, you know what, man, I don't know what to do. So I went ahead and called Tsudo, and I told the guy, I'm like, hey, listen, I've had this issue. I've heard that there's been reports out there of the same issue. Of course, the guy says, well, that's on that particular header, I have never had any issues with it. Okay, fine, whatever, but I need a solution. And he referred me to the website that I bought it from. He knew exactly who the website was, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to knock off the website. The guys were very helpful, but they did suggest, hey, you know what, if you wanted to, I'll go ahead and let you drill the holes out a little bit. And I told him, well, if I drill the holes out a little bit, and in the event of something happening within the first year, I have another issue, or flex pipe busts or leaks, or there's whatever issue, I don't want my drilling of the holes void the warranty, or someone come back and say, okay, yeah, well, that's we can't help you. You already drilled it. Everything's been altered. Whatever. So he's like, yeah, I can understand that. I'm like, well, will the other shop, or the other website that I bought it from, would they just accept my return? He said, yeah, they should. Looks like you probably don't have another option if that's what you want to do. So I contacted the guy from the website that I bought it from, and he's like, yeah, well, I think I have one left, whatever. And I said, you know what, at this point, I just want to return it. I talked to Tsudo, and they said that you can help me out. And so I started that process, and Tsudo told me, yeah, you know what, I have a container leaving the first week of June, right? It's like May 24th, 25th, whatever. but it won't probably get here till the end of June, early July. And I'm like, for me, you know what? That's just way too long just to try to get a replacement if they're coming from China and they're just being built by hand, like he said. All these headers are built by hand. Great, whatever. But you know, if you're telling me you're waiting on a container, it's just kind of like, you know, I don't even want to deal with it anymore. So I started the return process. I talked to the website that I bought it from, and they're gonna refund the money once they get the header. And I told them, I'm like, hey, you know what? I tried to install it. It didn't work. It didn't align properly. Can you just process the refund for me, please? He says, sure. Just send it back. Fine. I tried to go to UPS. They're like, yeah, it's $100 to ship it. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? $100? Yep, California and Washington or whatever is the most expensive states we deliver to. I'm like, okay, forget it. I called the guy up. Hey, I need you guys to help me out with shipping. Great, I'll help you out. I'll give you a label. You just, I can just deduct it off the refund, or you can pay me via PayPal. I'm like, you know what? I'll eat the refund. Just give me I'll eat the shipping. Just give me the refund. So they're just gonna charge me $40 to ship it. So that's my loss, I guess. Hold on, there's a policeman. So it cost me $40. A day of bad experience of the installation, and $40 caused me to just get rid of that issue. Hold on. Just caused me to get rid of that issue completely. So I said, you know what, for $40, I'll start from scratch. I'm fine with the NVIDIA for now, and I'll figure out what I want to do. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'll mail it out tomorrow, and hopefully I get my refund soon, the next week or so. So yeah, what am I going to do next? I have no idea. I'm still debating right now. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to look at a K-tuned header with cats, but you know, it's another $500 some. Or I really do not want to. I don't think I'm going to at all. Squeeze in high flow cat on the NVIDIA. There really is no room since it has the donut gasket on there. So, but I did find a Flowmaster mini cats. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, the Flowmaster mini cats. They actually look really good, and I think they'll be small enough to squeeze on that in that space between the donut gasket and the header flange. If I trim up the cat a little bit, because I think it's like 8 or 10 inches long. If I trim up 1.5 inches on each side, maybe 2 inches on each side, squeeze that into the NVIDIA cat, I think that would work great. But I don't want to cut up the NVIDIA, because that NVIDIA header is a great header. You guys saw on my previous videos, it bolts up flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. Clearance is perfect, performance is top notch, and everything works. I don't want to ruin it by throwing a cat and lowering the value of it in the event I ever have to get rid of it. But I know a lot of people, you know, like to go with Catid headers, so I'm not sure. I don't want to take the chance of, you know, getting less than what I put into it on the header. Every time I buy something, I always try to get as much as I can, or at least close to what I bought it for, or make a buck off of it. But yeah, so oh man, I need some options. Yeah, like I said, that was a stressful situation, stressful day. It wasted a lot of freaking time, and it just really sucked. So looking for some good ideas. I'm not sure if I want to sell all my parts and go back to stock and sell my Flash Pro to go boost it, kind of like the way I did on my last 8th gen, where I sold 100% everything, went 100% back to stock, I bought a supercharger kit, and then from there I opened up the intake and exhaust gradually, but at least it gave me a better driving experience. I got a little bit more output out of the engine and performance and all that. But I'm not sure. The CT engineering kit is great. Stage 1, stage 2 is perfect for me, for my needs, my individual needs. I think the Kraftwerk supercharger kit is a little bit too much out of my budget, and it's a little bit too much wear on the car, especially if they suggest you upgrading your clutch. And of course, I've seen a guy on YouTube, I don't even know his name, that had the Kraftwerks. Oh, the older guy with the red S 9th gen. I don't know his name, but you guys probably seen him around. He put a Kraftwerks kit on it, and his fourth gear went out completely. He had to put a new transmission in it and new gear set or whatever. And the car only had 30,000 miles or something like that, or 14. I don't even know, but less than 50,000 miles. Fourth gear went out with that Kraftwerk supercharger kit. So I can only imagine what kind of wear that I'll put on my car when it's got over 100,000 miles. And that's not something I'm willing to chance. And the clutch on this thing is basically brand new. The dealer installed it 12,000 miles ago, and I'm good where I'm at. So the CT engineering kit would be great. Or I don't know if any of you guys have any thoughts or feedback or experience with the 8th gen TSI turbo kit. I did find it online, and it does come with Flash Pro with a base tune calibration loaded into it. And I think it's only rated at 6 or 7 pounds on a turbo kit, which would probably be perfect. It's got a Garrett ball bearing turbo on it, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna have a quick spool up. I think that'll be an actually fun experience, but I would have to sell everything just to help fund that project, any of those projects. But that TSI turbo kit, I think they're going for like $3,200 right now online. And the CT engineering, if I ask the dealership that I got it from last time, I can try to get that for $3,300 brand new, stage 1, with a 2-year warranty on it, which I would make sure I'd get the warranty on it, and go from there. So what do I do? I guess it's just all part of having a car, figuring out what you want to do with it, building it up, just experimenting with new things. So yeah, I guess that's what makes it fun. And of course, money is a huge determining factor on the outcome. So yeah, like I said, let's see where it takes us. Let's see what's next. Right now, I'm gonna return the header, get that refund. Hopefully everything works smooth. And right now I'm rolling with the stock airbox, K&N filter, stock tune calibration on the Flash Pro NVIDIA header exhaust. Let's see what happens next. I'm out here in Chicago, so the weather's been kind of crazy. We're like the last week of May, and we've only had about 3 warm days out of the year so far, like 70s and 80s and stuff. So the weather hasn't called for a cold air intake yet, but that may be in the forecast soon, once the days start to get warmer and warmer. Do I need it? No, I don't need it, but I can get a colder intake, for less than $100. So it'd be fun to experiment. It'd be fun to document. It'd be fun to show you guys, hey, this is how you install colder intake, whatever. Let's get the feedback on the Flash Pro calibration or whatever. But we're continuing the process. We're continuing to discover what we can do with the car, the capabilities and all that. Nothing crazy. I'm not being funded by anybody or anything like that. I'm not being sponsored by anybody, but I think it's just fun. Like I said, I'm just trying to keep the 8th gen legacy going, keep the community alive a little bit. So I need you guys' support in getting me subscribers and views, because the subscribers and the views are, a little bit on the low side, which is fine. I'm taking a little bit of a different approach than just trying to, post up videos against, Civic, against another Civic, or Civic against whatever car or whatever. There's just way too many videos on YouTube about street racing and a bunch of stupid shit. But I want to show you guys what's this guy's build process. What has this guy experimented with? What is the car capable of doing? How can we transform an 8th gen SI and kind of just see where it takes us, and just experiment, play around with it. It's all part of the game, and just trying to have some fun and share the experience with you guys. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Otherwise, I'll keep you guys posted, let you guys know what's coming up next. Right now, I have to get my thoughts together, but you'll be the first to find out. Later.